Hi, my name is Amos. If you have some few minutes, let me show you how to create this realistic and organic snow generation experience using the Emitter Layers in Kite. You are about to take this illustration from the ondraw.co website and turn it into a realistic and organic snow falling experience. So let me show you how. Let's click on the illustration and download as SVG. You saved the illustration somewhere on your computer. I have it saved on my desktop. I'm going to drag the illustration and open that in Sketch. We go to the layer list and click on this icon to expand all the layers. Let's command click each of the snow and remove them. We're going to use the Emitter Layers in Kite in order to generate the snow. By selecting all the snow, I'll press backspace to delete all. Now, let's create a new Kite document by choosing from template. We're going to select new from template. Let's use the iPad template by clicking tablet and selecting iPad Pro. So you can see we have a blank iPad Kite document. To bring the content from Sketch into Kite, we go to File, Import, and select from Sketch. We will leave all the settings as they are and click Import. Let's go to the layer list and select the content we just brought. Let's drag it to somewhere in the center. Before we do anything, let's change the background of the iPad by selecting the screen and go to the Properties Inspector. Let's remove the border and change the color to something like that. So we are going to use the background layer you see over here to generate the snow. Let's select the content we just brought and click on this icon to expand. We go through the list and look for the background layer. Let's rename this layer to background. In order to generate and emit the snow onto this background layer, we are going to use the Emitter Layers in Kite. We do that by going to the library and selecting Emitter. Let's drag that to the background layer and release the mouse. If we go to the toolbar and click Present, you can see we have the emission, but this is not what we want. The emitter has two settings. We have settings for the parent and also another settings that is done at the emitter cell. Let's start with the emitter, which is the parent container. By selecting the emitter layer, we go to the inspector. You can play around with all these settings depending on what you want to generate. You can use the emitter layers in Kite to generate something like snow, fire, fireworks, or smoke. We are going to generate snow, so let's set the emitter size. We will change the width to 900 and change the height to 490. Let's change the birth rate from 1 to 10. Let's leave velocity as 1 and change the scale to 0.5. We want the snow to spin as it falls, so let's change this value from 1 to 4 and the lifetime to 0.5 and leave all the other settings as they are. So this is the settings for the emitter itself. We then go to the toolbar and Present to see what we have got. So we have the emission in all directions. Let's remove this color by going to the appearance and remove the background and the border as well. By presenting again, you can see we don't have the background layer anymore. Let's go to the settings for the emitter cell. By selecting the emitter cell, we go to the properties inspector. These are all the settings we have for the emitter cell. Over here, we are going to set only the birth rate and the acceleration parameters. Let's change the birth rate to 20. We use acceleration to define the direction where we want the snow to be generated from. Let's set this to a negative number, that is the X acceleration, and see what we have. You can see the snow is generating from the right to left because we have the X position set to negative. By setting the X to a positive number, we also generate the snow from left to right. Next, we want this snow to fall from the top to the bottom. So we set the Y acceleration to a positive number. If we change the Y acceleration to a negative number, you can see the snow is moving up, but that is not what we want. So I'll press undo, select it again, and change this to a positive number, and present again. So you can see we have the snow falling from the top to the bottom. Let's use a masking technique to clip the snow only to the background layer, which is this gray background layer. By selecting the emitter, we control click and select the option Mask Parent Layer, so we don't see the background layer anymore. If we present, you can see we've generated the snow to fall only from the background layer. Let's increase the birth rate to something like 30 and present again. So this is how to use this illustration to generate, animate, and render realistic and organic snow using the emitter layers in Kite.